prices are going to be revised. MRP is also going to get an hit, which is already printed with the existing MRP.
We are not in a world where products are priced on paise basis. So you may say again, argue that GPay is there or UPI platform is there, but there is an initial wrapper on the chocolate. Plus all these chocolates individually are packed in a box. Again, will have a wrapper around it with an MRP labeling. So there are two MRP labeling in the same single product. That the supply chain is a huge.
Hello and welcome to GST Dialogues. With GST 2.0 in place, there are MRP products that are in circulation in the market, and the manufacturers have manufactured it with the MRP and circulated in the market. Now that from 22nd of September, the prices are going to be revised, MRP is also going to get an hit. It is going to have a reduction or an increase. So how should the manufacturers or people trade in an industry should manage this issue of products in the market supply, but which is already printed with the existing MRP after 22nd?
So I think what is happening currently is that there is a big circus which is going on. So people having divergent views, people having views which to me appears to be completely impractical. So hearing people also actually gives us a different perspective. Okay, this is how alternate way of thinking can be done, but whether that thinking or that solution is a practical solution or it is just a theoretical solution again has to be evaluated. So interestingly, what has happened is there is a doubt in the minds of the industry, and when you look at this industry, please understand these are industries which have products right from pricing of rupee 1 till a pricing of even hundreds and thousands of rupees, which are MRP based. So if I take a FMCG company or a confectionery company, so they will always have a packing done which has a primary packing and a secondary packing. So if you take an eclair chocolate for example, there is an initial wrapper on the chocolate, plus all these chocolates individually are packed in a box. That particular box or bottle again will have a wrapper around it with an MRP labeling. So there are two MRP labeling in the same single product, but at a different count of number of units. That being the case, imagine the kind of stock which will be available in the market right from the distributor to the wholesaler till the retailer, where the final sale is being done to the customer. Now the one view which is floating around is that the onus is on the manufacturer to do the relabeling of all these products, because come 22nd the rates of chocolates, as we all know, we are all happy, is going to be changed from 12 or 18 to 5%. Some of the chocolates which are at 18 having cocoa have been reduced to 5%. So we all are happy and excited as Diwali is also approaching. But we should also understand and appreciate that the supply chain is a huge dimension, having a huge number of suppliers. So going till the end of the retailer and ensuring that MRP is refixed on the single ecless chocolate, I think is something which is impractical. Fortunately, what has happened is on 9th of September, the department or the Ministry of Consumer Affairs have issued a advisory kind of a circular, wherein it is more from the perspective of the MRP pricing. This does not have anything to do with regard to your GST provision per se, but it is with regard to your MRP labeling provisions under the Legal Metrology Act. So that particular circular first has made a communication to manufacturers, packers and importers. So it is addressing these three types of people who are manufacturers, packers and importers. Then what it tries to communicate is that if you have unsold stock, okay, if you have an unsold stock and there is going to be this change in the rate of GST, which is going to have a impact on your MRP pricing, because effectively when GST rates reduce, MRP being a price inclusive of GST, that MRP obviously should reduce. That being the case, the advisory given is you have your existing packing material and your packing material will always have a pre-printed MRP in the packing material, or the MRP is printed in the course of the manufacturing process itself. So if it's already pre-printed in the packing material, they have given an option to the manufacturers, packers and the importers that you continue this packing material till 31st December. They also understand that overnight packing material cannot be disposed and new packing material cannot be used. So you use the existing packing material, but you have to refix or affix another label with the revised MRP. So the existing MRP will also be reflected, revised MRP also will be reflected, but that is with regard to the unsold stock. So in my understanding, to the best of my knowledge, I believe that when they refer this unsold stock, it is the stock which is lying with the manufacturer or the packers or the importers. It cannot go down till the supply chain to the end of the retailer. So that is number one. Number two, the guidance also gives a message that for the benefit of the consumers at large, you do 2 advertisements in known newspapers. So that gives a clear message to the public that okay boss, my product rates will be changed effective this 22nd of September. And also you do a trade notice communication to your entire supply chain. That will ensure that you are communicating to your suppliers that boss, this price reduction has to be passed on. I think that is a sufficient compliance from the manufacturer's perspective that this advertisement and this trade notice is being done. Parallelly, if I also go back few years, I think in 2016, a similar case was there where there was some change in the excise duty rates for some of the pharma products. So the Department of Pharmaceuticals in 2016, I think it was April, had also given a similar instruction or a circular where, because you cannot expect like pharma industries to call back all their products, then effectively what will happen is in pharmacies what medicines you will find, because all the medicines will have to undergo price change. Then effectively people are stuck without medicines. So knowing the practical difficulty, the Department of Pharmaceutical also gave a clarification that you need not recall all your medicines to refix a labeling on account of this excise duty change. You ensure that the benefit is being passed on again by virtue of doing these advertisements, and also make a clear communication to your supply chain including retail that this reduction has to be passed on. One catch here is that that particular circular has put the onus both on the manufacturers as well as the retailers. So manufacturers just like that cannot wash off their hands, but by virtue of doing whatever is possible to communicate to the retail and the supply chain, I think manufacturers can do their part. Also this newspaper advertisement also will make the public aware that okay, this particular pricing has got reduced effective 22nd. Just add on one more point here is that certain products, I think the pricing change itself may not be possible, because if it's a 1 rupee, 5 rupee product, we are not in a world where products are priced on paise basis. You cannot have a product which is say 87 paise. So you may say again argue that GPay is there or UPI platform is there, but that does not work. So I think there is another instruction or document which has recently come, which has allowed this kind of products which are 1 rupee and 5 rupee, manufacturers can look at increasing the grammage. So today if your product is of 10 grams, instead of reducing your 1 rupee to say 85 or 86 paise, increase that 10 grams to maybe 11 or 12 grams. So to that effect, this benefit has got passed on to the end consumer. Effectively, consumer should benefit. That is a very clear message, and even the government is closely monitoring this. So I think this can be one approach where this advertisement, trade notices, alternate of increasing the grammage for a low price product will ensure that the customers benefit.